Hi, Nicole. How are you today?
I'm great, Megan. How are you?
Good, thank you. Do I have your permission to record this call?
Absolutely.
Excellent. All right, so tell me about your most recent position, Nicole. Where did you work and what did you do there?
My most recent position is where I'm at now. So right now I'm doing real estate with a real estate auction company. So that's a little bit newer. Most recently, I held a position at Realty One Group I was the director of operations. So I was managing the day-to-day tasks of running the real estate office, onboarding agents, developing processes and systems, doing transaction coordinating, all of those types of tasks, and then regular admin stuff, answering phones, managing emails and calendars and things like that.
Okay, perfect. I want to kind of delve into that position a little bit more, but I'm just wondering when did you start working for the auction company?
That was January of this year.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so when you were the office manager, how many agents were you assisting?
When I started there, it was just the broker and I. So I worked together with him to bring on board. We had about 8 agents
Okay.
altogether. So so I worked with onboarding all of them and doing that stuff.
And did you help all 8 agents plus your broker with TCing also?
I did, yes.
Okay. Walk me through your role from contract to close as far as TCing was concerned.
So a lot of with the broker specifically, he had a pretty large REO account. So we would get the acquisition letter for the property. So we'd take that and we'd go through the whole pre-market part, which was fixing up the property, getting utilities going, even having to do lockouts if needed, whatever the case may be. Then transitioning for it being on the market, and then going through that process and then getting into escrow. So I literally took it from the absolute first day to the day it closed and a little bit after to make sure everything went smoothly, of course.
Okay, perfect. And then did you have contact with clients as well?
I did.
Okay, as far as
Yeah.
where they stood in the process?
Yeah, both sides. Even if we double ended, but always with the agents, lenders,
Mhm.
all that stuff. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, good. And about how many transactions do you think you would work on in any given month?
Probably my biggest was 50.
Okay,
But on average it was about 20 most
Okay.
months. Yeah.
perfect. Which of your previous positions would you say was most challenging for you?
Most challenging would probably have been doing account management at a software company.
Mhm.
Mostly because it was a newer industry, so just getting to know that, software and those types of things. But it was very similar to my previous roles as far as communicating with clients and doing project management and prioritization of tasks and deadlines and things like that.
Okay, perfect. How did you end up getting into real estate in the first place?
I got into real estate in 2008, so right when the REO market was, right in there. And my dad's in real estate, so he was working at an office at the time, and one of the agents was looking for an assistant, and I was finishing college, so I said, why not? I'll try it out, and got into it, and just thought I knew that's where I wanted to be.
Mhm.
I loved it, so
Perfect. Are you licensed?
I am.
Okay, perfect.
Since 2012.
Great. Did you ever work as an agent yourself?
I did, and although it is interesting, just not my strong suit. Definitely, I love the behind the scenes part, the admin tasks, things like that.
Sure.
But I tried it.
What was most challenging for you about being an agent?
You know, going out and getting the business. Honestly, networking and trying to sell myself to clients to get them to list with me or work with me. I was able to do it, but didn't feel authentic, I guess.
Sure. Okay. Totally understandable. What attributes or qualities do you think you possess that lend themselves more to being behind the scenes?
Definitely my organization. I love organizing. Time management is really, really important to me. And prioritizing, being able to understand and filter through different tasks and knowing what takes priority over other things.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Walk me through a typical day for you right now in your current position.
Well, right now, I do a couple of different things. The company that I'm with is a startup, so part of coming on board as an agent with them was helping build the processes and systems of the business as a whole. So I will spend a little bit of time working on that part, as well as help bringing agents on board, so I do a little bit of that. And I also do a little bit of sales. So I try to, I put together marketing materials and presentations and things like that to drum up business. So.
Perfect. Yeah. Tell me more about the marketing that you do.
Yeah, so I do, we mostly go after expireds, so that's our big thing right now. So we do like a 3-point system for mailing directly to the expireds list that we usually purchase the list.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And then as far as flyers and postcards and those sorts of things, do you design those yourself?
I have. I've done a little bit of that work. We do have someone outside that we bring in to do the bulk of it, but I do have quite a bit of experience designing them myself.
Okay, perfect. So why are you looking for a new opportunity now?
Well, because I have done some soul searching over the past couple months and realizing that my passion is really in real estate. I absolutely love it. I want to be there, but being in the sales part is just not, it's not what fits me. So being behind the scenes, doing the transaction coordinating and doing the managing of the schedules and helping the agents be more successful doing what they need to do, which is the sales, is really exciting to me versus going out and doing the sales. So I really want to transition into that part of it.
Okay, perfect. And what was it specifically about this position that you're interviewing for that was of interest to you?
Well, as cheesy as it might sound, everything. When I saw it, I was like, that's me. Like, I can totally do all that. So, but I think doing the transaction coordinating, so seeing the transaction from beginning to end, being able to develop processes and systems, super intriguing to me, and being able to be that supportive role, helping take the agent's vision and ideas and implementing them, super exciting to me. So those are the biggest parts, I think.
Okay, excellent. So what are your long-term career goals? Where do you hope to be professionally in 5 years?
I hope to be in real estate, hopefully leading and managing a team, being able to be in a similar role, but being maybe at a little bit higher, doing more director of operations or overseeing tasks and things like that, leading a team, I think.
Perfect. Yeah. So if you woke up tomorrow and had your absolute dream job, what would it be?
Oh, that's a great one. My absolute dream job would be doing this, being with a really great group of people, and creating ideas, taking the ideas that they've created and seeing them through. Running an office, making things more efficient, being able to streamline and help improve processes and systems, and being in the ends of the real estate transaction.
Okay, excellent. In terms of customer service, what kinds of things do you like to do when you're working with a client to really ensure that they have a great experience when they're working with you?
Probably the biggest thing to me is listening. Really, really understanding what their needs are, their concerns are, even depending upon what the situation is, and being able to really focus on that, and using that to execute whatever strategy to help either bring them on board or make them feel comfortable going forward if if there was an issue or something like that. But I think listening is a huge part of that.
Okay, good. Let's say that you have 10 things on your to-do list. Crazy day in the office.
Yes.
You're coming up on deadlines. You know you're not going to hit your deadlines. What do you do?
I think communicate. So communicating to the party that, we have these multiple tasks that have competing deadlines. I think even before the deadline comes up, knowing that, I have 4 or 5, 10 things even on my list, and communicating with the agent or, my supervisor, whoever I'm reporting to at the time, hey, I have a number of things on my plate. Here's the deadlines. What do you think is, the most important, or if, depending upon what needs to be done first, second, or third, just getting that input and insight. And then secondly, just using my own judgment of being able to filter through what takes priority, knowing the business and knowing what's most important in the business, being able to filter that way.
Okay, perfect. Do you have experience writing contracts?
I do, yes. I have done quite a few of them.
Perfect. What kinds of things do you do when you're writing a contract to make it airtight?
Definitely communicating, going through the items line by line if needed, just to make sure that everybody fully understands, what they're agreeing to, making sure to be thorough in getting the signatures and the initials, and then before leaving the meeting, making sure to look over it, and then, making sure there isn't any questions, anything like that, and then doing a follow-up, even after leaving, putting together the package or whatever, just following up to make sure everything is there that needs to be.
Okay, excellent. What kinds of systems do you use to prioritize and stay on top of deadlines?
Definitely my calendar. Google Calendars is one that I'm really familiar with the task management features and things like that, and having it communicate with my phone so that things pop up on there, just to make sure that I'm always staying on top of it. And I always have my notebook with me with my, whatever properties are in contract or whatever things are coming up. Always having it in front of me to make sure that I'm staying on top of it. But mostly using my calendar and my tasks for that.
Okay, good. What is one thing that might happen at work that would cause you a lot of stress?
Probably missing, maybe missing a deadline. That would really stress me out. I don't. I am very prideful on staying on top of things, and balancing and juggling is, something that I'm really good at. So if something does happen to fall through the cracks or drop a ball somewhere, it does cause me a little bit of stress. But I tend to be very good at recouping quick from that. Even if it's just taking a few minutes to step away from the situation and kind of take a couple breaths, and come back to it and reevaluate. But
okay, good. Who's been your favorite boss that you've worked for?
Ooh, my favorite boss. I would say probably, I've liked all my bosses, really. But I think the agent that I worked for at Realty One Group, which he was really innovative, outside-the-box thinker. So he really opened my mind to a lot of other options, other ways of doing things, that not everything is super black and white, that there are, areas that you can, kind of expand into. So probably him.
Okay, good. What would you say has been your biggest professional accomplishment so far, and then also your biggest personal accomplishment?
Yeah, well, my professional, probably in one of my previous positions, I took the initiative to streamline our onboarding process for our resellers. So by doing that, I took the application process and really narrowed it down to the meat and potatoes of what was necessary, and then drafted a checklist so that the business development team could really filter through the applications a lot easier. as well as putting that together, developing an email template, and then I nominated a couple of members of our sales team to actually be the ones to that the applications went to first, so that they can kind of filter, make sure they had complete applications before they went to the team. So taking lead on that and developing that system that they still use now is pretty exciting, because it really helped alleviate the time spent on the back and forth and all the time wasted going through things that weren't complete. So that's probably my professional. Personal would be this year. I've lost 20 pounds, and I am currently training to do my first fitness competition in November.
Good for you.
So that was definitely my top personal.
Nice. That's awesome. All right, Nicole, before we wrap up, I just want to give you the chance to summarize your skills and experience and tell me why you think you're the best candidate for this position.
Yeah. Overall, honestly, I think I'm the ultimate integrator. I love taking people's ideas and implementing them. To take a team's vision and see it through and make it come a reality is super exciting to me. Plus, I just have a huge passion for real estate. I love the business. I love being in it. And I have great management skills, great organizational skills. So the abilities to understand what it takes to run the day-to-day operations of a real estate office, I know very, very well, and I'm very comfortable with it. So taking all of my skills and providing that value so that the agents can do what they do best is just really exciting to me. So I think I'd be a really great fit for that.
All right, fantastic. Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you.